Coast Nation, Sanbunan Buffet 2, welcome back to Football Trends with me, OQB. Now, on this video, we will be talking about Coach Zwane, which obviously we have spoken about him before, but then we are getting back to the latest news or something that you need to know about because a lot has happened in the last 24 hours or so. Let me just quickly put this phone on silence. So yeah, currently we'll be looking at that, and also we'll be looking at, Kaizer Chiefs and Scotland FC. We do know that they will be playing on the 26th of July. And then also we have Ibrahim Jabaar, which is a central midfielder, was a player of Stellenbosch FC. Apparently there's something about him, and we will talk about that. But then definitely before we get there, please do make sure that you like the video and you subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much, guys. I see a lot of you have been subscribing so far, so we are very close at reaching 47,000 subscribers. I believe 100, and then after 100 people we go to 48,000 subscribers, which means we'll be left with just 2,000 subscribers to be able to get to 50,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for that. Now, starting off with Coach Zwane. Recently there's been talks that Coach Zwane is wanted. Kaizer Chiefs are interested in signing him to take him back to Naturena so that he can be an assistant coach to Fernando de Cruz as a South African head coach. Now remember, there were fans and people, requesting that Kaizer Chiefs do whatever is necessary to be able to get Coach Zwane to bring him back. And I did hear a lot of you on the comment section that you guys were not happy about that, and I do understand. I'm not going to talk much about that. So right now, things that you need to know of or about, it has been confirmed that Zwane has signed 2 years with Amazulu. Not just that, he has an option to sign for 2 more years again, which makes it about 4 years. So in my opinion, I don't think Kaizer Chiefs is going there. They won't sign him unless maybe they are very, very, very convinced and well prepared to say, okay, we need to bring him back. But other than that, I don't think it's going to happen, guys. Yes, we will wait and see if they are going to do something about it, because 2 years, that is something that we need to look at. And also another thing is we have to understand that not all coaches want to be assistant coaches. A coach prefers, probably some coaches prefer to be the head coaches of a certain club so that they can be able to have the final say, because as a head coach, you do have the final say when it comes to certain things. Yes, with Kaizer Chiefs it's a bit different, but the head coach decide. And then we look at the Kaizer Chiefs now get Scotland FC, which is a team from Zimbabwe, like Konabo Kama Billiard. We have some of the legends that are playing there. I believe even Knowledge Msona is playing there, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, recently it has been confirmed that between the two clubs they are speaking in terms of exchanging or buying players from one another, and it's possible 2 players from our side might be headed to Scotland FC, but they did say 1, so I'm just trying to exaggerate the situation, or maybe 1 or 2 players might be headed there. And then also there's a possibility that Kaizer Chiefs might sign a player from Scotland FC, which we're gonna be seeing who they decide to pick. I do understand why they would want to look for a player outside, because obviously currently things are not going very well for them. But then we do also have the problem of the foreign quota. So far we are filled in that position, if I'm not mistaken. We have Inaso Miguel, we have, okay, let me count them. We have Inaso Miguel, we have Ntwari, we have Ikodaro, who's not a South African, we have Lilepo, number 4, and then who's the 5th player, guys? Why am I forgetting? Oh, Flavio Silva. So those are the 5 players that we are having, which are not South African, and they filled the squad. So definitely, if ever we are or we were to sign a new player, we need to make sure that either Ikodaro, because I do believe he has 1 year, or he signed 1 year with us, there is a possibility we might let go of him. I don't know. So yeah, maybe we could unless he has 2 years, but I'm not too sure. I think we signed him for a year, and then we let go of Ikotaro. Then that will open up the space so that we can be able to sign a new player. Ntwari contract runs up until 2027, so this season we might be able to send him out on a loan. Is it 2027 or 2028? I believe it's 2027. So we might be able to send him out on a loan, and then now we have 2 spots which we can be able to fill, because let's be honest, we do need players. So maybe Lapago Scotland, they might be looking for a winger if things don't go well with players like Olang Elihlepili. I'm not saying Opili will not come to Kaizer Chiefs, but by the looks of things, the club is Stellenbosch FC. They are not interested in selling the player, and they are not looking at letting their player go, because why are you letting go of such an incredible player who's very young? At least it makes sense to me. And then we jump to Talapana, Ibrahim Jabaar. Now, Ibrahim Jabaar is a Nigerian player. He's not from around South Africa now. According to the news, he decided he doesn't want to get into negotiation talks with, I believe, I think it is Stellenbosch, if I'm not mistaken. So he decided he doesn't want to get a new contract. He wants to leave the club. He's a central midfielder. I do believe we do have a lot of central midfielders, unless maybe they are going to let go of Josh McLeod. Now, there's something that coach Khalil Ben Yusuf said, and it is something I was not considering until okay, when I sat down and thought about it, it made a lot of sense. You understand? So we had about 40 players on our club. And when Nabi arrived, the first thing he said, I want to trim the squad and have fewer players. Now, at the time, obviously, we talked about it. We looked at everything. And then we're like, okay, it doesn't make any sense why the coach wants to trim the squad, because the injuries, playing, different competitions, you need at least depth. But now, looking at it, I'm seeing what, okay, as much as we can talk about what we need a lot of players, there is a problem, especially when it comes to our trainings and focusing. You find that you have 5 players or 8 players in one position. Yes, the other one can get injured, and then the other one gets like suspended or something like that, and then now you are left with just one. It's good, it's understandable, but then the problem is, how do you then train and look at those players, all of them at the same time? Because now you have a very big squad that you need to manage, and I do understand it's very difficult to be able to look at each and every player unless you do have assistant coaches, which now it made a lot of sense why Unabi wanted to have the first and the second assistant coaches, so that the other coaches will be dealing with those other things. Remember when we signed Fernando de Cruz, the first thing he was doing was being busy with player improvements. Understand? Because remember, it's a club like Kaizer Chiefs that tends to sign players who are not well on that development part. So Fernando Cruz was busy with that, and then Utemaga Hamba, we had to bring in Kaizer, which, by the way, he came and we did just that. And honestly speaking, Wafetu, I do believe that they are part of the reason why players like Osbong Senim managed to come back, give us the result that we were looking for, and a lot more. A lot more when it comes to player improvements. So I might have given up on Bruce Vuma, but maybe it was just taking a bit more time. But the problem is, I feel like he's had enough chances, man. He shouldn't even be struggling. He's been with us. Super in Peterson, some sign. He's not a player. And so to know Kulinati, he knows what needs to be done at this level. But Bruce Vuma, For me, I thought he was going to be the next 2 million kuna. Hence, I've given up on him. You understand? Also, the age wise, something else that plays a huge role. But at the end of the day, Kaizer just might decide 30 is not far off, so they will let him continue. Even though, as in, we're not gonna get there. So yeah, Ibrahim Jabaar Bafetu is available as a free agent. He can be signed by any club, but then if we are signing him, we have to think about the foreign quota, because for me, I feel like centrally or go central midfield, we don't need that player. Players that we do need are attacking players. And Nakona, I would have preferred if we are signing a midfielder, especially one we can say that is defensive. Isaac Cisse would have made a lot of sense for me. Unfortunately, that's it. I see Dava because it will be like QP as repeating the same thing over and over again. But anyways, those are the updates that I wanted to give to you. But too, please let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I believe this is it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with something. Peace.